When all you have are bad arguments, that's all the arguments you give. I guess there's no better way to start this than that. Yesterday on The Five, which is a program on Fox News hosted by Jesse Waters and Greg Gutfeld and Janine Pirro and the lady who used to be the press secretary for George W. Bush. I can't even remember her name, a little blonde lady. And Jessica Tarloff, the one single voice of reason. You see, even the way Fox News balances the fair and balanced, we report, you decide, even the way they staff out their shows demonstrates their political position. There's one liberal among four people. As much as they whine about when Donald Trump goes on a debate stage and it was 3 against 1, it was 3 against 1. It's literally 4 against 1 on this show. And she has to come prepared for their nonsense because she's countering 4 different sets of research and propaganda pouring into her ear. So this particular day was mainly an effort by Jesse Waters and Greg Gutfeld to make arguments pushing back against the obvious truth that Donald Trump is a fascist. I'm not going to go through the 14 defining characteristics of fascism from this high school classroom aid that clearly outlines that the Republican Party has fascist tendencies, and Donald Trump himself is absolutely an adherent to the philosophies of fascism, without a doubt. But I want to play Jesse Waters first because he is making maybe the most stupid argument that has ever been made relative to Donald Trump and this whole fascism narrative that is finally correctly starting to rear its ugly head. Watch Jesse, dumb shit, pumpkin head Waters make an idiot argument.
Get your commentary.
Well, you're right, because if Trump does win, then she's going to have to certify a fascist. Right. She's going to have to gavel a fascist into office. What, are they just going to hand the keys to the White House to Hitler?
Yeah. Are you
so they're either going
to
rise up and go nuts on the streets, Jessica, or they're just going to certify him like he's Mitt Romney and admit the whole thing was baloney. Mm-hmm. And that's probably what's going to happen. The whole thing was baloney. You can't even define fascism. I challenge Kamala to tell us what it is, because a majority of the country doesn't know the word. She needs non-college educated blacks, whites, and Hispanics to turn out for her. And she is smearing her rival as with a mid-20th century European political philosophy. Okay, Jessica.
You think people don't know what Hitler is?
She's calling him a fascist. Go out on the street, ask 20 people what that means,
Jessica. Send Johnny on the Hitler patrol.
I will. Don't you send my Johnny out there with my permission. So this is a Morning Joe hoax. This is a Morning Joe Biden close.
Wait. So fascism doesn't exist because some people can't define it? Is that your argument, moron? Is that what you're saying? Because it's easy to define. It is a broader concept. There is not one specific fascist party that you have to belong to. But the 14 defining characteristics, fraudulent elections, rampant cronyism, obsession with crime and punishment, disrespect for intellectuals and the arts, labor power is suppressed. I guess I am going to go through them. Corporate power is protected. Religion and government are intertwined. Yeah, these really seem like democratic concepts. Obsession with national security, controlled mass media, widespread sexism, supremacy of the military, identification of enemies as a unifying cause, disregard for human rights, power and continuing nationalism. Yeah, but if a guy in Times Square can't define it, it doesn't exist. That's not an argument. Now, drifting into argument land is Greg Gutfeld, who had moronic, no shocker, stupid things to say, but this is the narrative on Fox News. Watch Greg Gutfeld.
I mean, in the best possible way, Kamala.
But the argument is Trump is a fascist. He's Hitler. That's the argument. That's all we hear every day. That was the big op dump. So I repeat the question that I asked, I don't know how many months ago. If you believe that Trump is a danger to America, a true and literal fascist, don't you have the responsibility to stop him at all costs, which includes rigging an election? Yes or no? It's the perfect question, right? If you believe he's Hitler, you're a coward for not doing everything you can to stop Hitler. Unless you don't mean it, then you're a liar.
Like J.D. Vance?
Liar. What, is he saying that now?
Oh, no, he just had a change of heart once he got power.
Yeah, people do have changes of heart. They do. But your change of heart is intensifying it after Trump was shot, nearly killed, and then the object of another assassination attempt. God knows what else there is. And since then, the rhetoric has doubled and tripled. So I got to wonder, what happens if it actually succeeds? What happens if there's another attempt and it works? How is that going to look on Kamala? Do you think she's ever thought about that? Has she considered, is she aware that what the handlers have done to her, the position that they are putting her in, the risk that they aren't taking, but the risk she's taking herself? If something happens to Trump, God forbid, in the next couple of weeks or even after, how is that going to play? How are the Democrats going to feel? That's a good question. Someone should ask Kamala that.
After Trump was nearly killed? He was nearly killed. Tell me you've never been in danger, mortal danger, without telling me you've never been in mortal physical danger. And to answer the question, which, bears an answer, is what happens if there's another attempt on Donald Trump's life and it works? Well, then there will be a lot of happy people. America will have been saved from an autocrat. And let me also say this, maybe the question should be answered about, well, she's going to gavel in a fascist and all of this. Yeah, this has been what I've been screaming about for over a year now. Since January 6, 2021, while we waited for month upon month upon month upon month upon month upon month upon month for Merrick Garland to get off his goddamn hands and do something. Instead, we're in a situation where these cases didn't go to court until now and after the election, when all of this could have been avoided if the Justice Department had not given the benefit of the doubt to insurrectionists and organizers of that insurrection. So yeah, the Democratic Party does have a problem with trying to be too kind and generous to the other side. If I was in charge, it wouldn't be that way. Luckily for America, that is not the case. I'm not in charge because I'm not qualified to be the Attorney General of these United States. But I'm qualified to give criticism and levy criticism using my tiny corner of the internet. Jesse Waters, Greg Gutfeld. They're earning a paycheck for this nonsense. They are both millionaires for doing what they do on that show. You know who's not a millionaire? This guy. You know who's not close to being a millionaire and probably never will be? This guy. Anyway, what do you think? I'd love to know. I invite you to this conversation. You can comment below. That'll help YouTube to use the algorithmic magic to share this content with new viewers. I would appreciate it. You can also call, leave me a voicemail, 714-576-4054. And of course, as always, you can email me daily at dollemore.com. If you want to help support this work, I would encourage you to do so. For $1.99, you can click the join button below, become a channel member, helping me produce this content. You can help me broadcast my terrible takes all over the internet. You can also go over to patreon.com/IDoubtItPodcast and help support there. Follow me on social media. If you're already on social media, do not sign up to follow me because it is terrible. I'm at Dollemore. I'd love to see you. Facebook, Threads, TikTok, Twitter, all of them. Anyway, I love and appreciate you. Thanks for your engagement. Be genuine. Take care of one another.